Hello, everyone, and welcome to day three of Singer Cup 2020. I'm very excited to be speaking to our special guest tonight. He is live with us, by the way, from Bali. So, known to many as the face of Indonesian football, Stefano Lilipaly is an Indonesian professional footballer who plays for Liga One club Bali United and the Indonesian national team. Born in Holland, Lilipaly represented his club of birth at youth level and made his debut for the Indonesian national team in 2013. Hello, Stefano. How are you today?
Oh, good night. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yeah, no problem.
What
It's a
what time
pleasure.
is it in Bali now? I heard it's the same time as Singapore, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's the same time like in Singapore.
So it's about 8:40 p.m. Did you just like
Yes, exactly.
finish a training session while you're joining us here?
No, the training sessions has stopped here because the league also stopped, so we don't train anymore. But I was just waiting for this interview.
Cool, cool, cool. So, are you ready? So, I think we would have told you separately that we would be expecting some questions from the fans. So, I think we have some very excited viewers raring to go to maybe potentially put you in the hot seat. Um, I'm not sure what questions you're going to ask, but I guess let's get surprised together. So, I think let's just
No
start
problem.
with one question first. The first question for you that would be about your first pro club experience and your journey as a youth. As we all know, Singer Cup is a tournament for youth in Southeast Asia. And we want to learn a little bit more about what you went through before you became professional, right? So, your youth career began at a very early age of just 7 years old back at home in Holland.
Yes.
And your pro club appearance came 14 years later, about there, with FC Utrecht in
Yes, that's
2011,
right.
your first pro club. Yep. So 14
Right.
years is quite a long time for a lot of people, but also at the same time, it is quite the norm for a lot of professional football players. Like you start at the
Yes,
youth
that's right.
level and you progress all the way to professional. So tell us a little bit more about that journey as a youth, what the structure was like back in the Netherlands for you, and how you felt on the day of your first pro club appearance.
Like you said, in Holland, we start at a really young age. For me, I think I was still a little bit old, 7 years old, because my friends started already with 5 years, and at that time I was not really interested in playing football. But 2 years later, I was. So at that time, I went with my friends to a local team, and yeah, after my first training, I never stopped since that day, and. I think in my first 3 years at my local team, it was for me only about fun, playing with my friends. And after that 3 year, there was a scouting team from AZ Alkmaar, and they picked me up at my local team. So I played at professional youth level in AZ Alkmaar. After 1 year, I stopped playing football there because I didn't enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy it. So then I went to FC Utrecht, and there I stayed for 14 years until the first team. I finished all the teams, and in the end, I also made my professional debut in FC Utrecht. So for me, it was a really good time at FC Utrecht, and really thankful for that.
Well, there seems to be a fairly nice structure back in Netherlands, right? So I think you mentioned just now that you were not interested in playing football. I think this may
No,
come as a shock to a lot of our viewers.
not at all. In like I said, around the age of 5, I was not. It was not really like I wanted to play football every day. I think it started coming when all my friends went to football, and they were like, "Hey, join us. Just try it and see if you like it." And like I said, after my first training, my first game, I didn't stop at all. Since then, I ever played football, and that's what I do until today. So no,
Well,
I
okay,
really love the game now.
I understand that you really love the game now, but I'm going to put you on the hot seat again and ask you, if you didn't end up playing football, would you have an inkling of what you might be doing right now?
To be honest, I don't have any clue what I will be doing now. Like I said, from the moment when I liked football, my only dream was to become a professional footballer. And yeah, like where I am today, I'm really thankful for, and it's also a lot of hard work and sacrifices what we made as a youth player, especially when you go to the professional youth academy. You cannot spend a lot of time with your friends. You need to train a lot, so you make a lot of sacrifices when you are younger. So that's the thing what people mostly don't see, and it's also really mental. It can be really tough sometimes if you are younger, because you want to play with your friends. Maybe all your other friends want to do some different things, and if you cannot join them, you need to go to training. Sometimes it's really difficult as a kid, to accept it.
Yep.
But like if you start realizing where you do it for, then in the end, you can make those sacrifices.
Yeah, well, I just want to say I don't think your hard work went to waste because you are here and you ended up playing in Indonesia. You rose in Indonesia. Like credit still to your career in back at home in Holland. But now you're with Indonesia, and let's just talk about how you got there. So you started playing football in Netherlands, your home country, and you also represented them at the national youth level. If I'm not wrong, probably at the under 15 to under 18. You
Yes.
were with them at a national level. And also in Holland, you were playing senior club level. So in 2011, you took an oath of citizenship, right? With
Yes.
to officially be a citizen and represent Indonesia. Talk us through that experience and how that decision came about. That is a big change. You're crossing continents to play football. So maybe tell us a bit more about that.
Me, at the time when I was in FC Utrecht, I think the PSSI, the Football Federation of Indonesia, contacted me if I was interested to play for the national team of Indonesia. And actually, I didn't thought about that possibility that it was there even to play for the national team of Indonesia. Although my roots came from there, my grandparents are born here and everything. My father is from here, and for me it was like a really big opportunity at that time, and I accepted it because for me it was something new, and in Holland it was also really difficult to compete with the players in the national team, in the national youth teams, because if you look to the team where I played with, the players I played with in one team, if I look to their names now, they all play in top competitions. So it was really tough to compete also with them. So for me, that's why I also made the choice to join Indonesia, because for me it was plus plus. I can have a shot here to take my chance for the national team, and I can represent the roots of my grandparents and my father. So for me, it was also really a proud moment to defend the Indonesian national team. So until the day until today, I don't regret it, because I really enjoy to play for the national team, and I'm really proud to defend the Indonesian national team.
Well, I think you're inspiring a lot of viewers right now with your story and your journey. So let's just talk about transitioning to Indonesia full time. So what we just discussed was you playing for Indonesia on a national level, right? But while your first national team debut for Indonesia happened in 2013, you were still very much active in club football back in Holland until at least 2017 with Cambuur Leeuwarden. So before moving to Indonesia full time, what was that transition like for you? Was it easy for you to settle in? And did you face any kind of initial struggle? So, like I mentioned earlier, this is two complete different continents and two different styles of play. How did you transition totally?
Yeah, for me, it was a really tough decision to make, to leave Europe and come to Indonesia, because if you compare to the Indonesian league with the leagues in Europe, it's totally different. And but the beautiful thing here is the supporters are so fanatic and the atmosphere is so amazing. This you don't have in Europe. In the teams where I played, you don't have it like this. And I think even in the big leagues, you don't even have the support like what we have here in this country. And I think most people don't understand how football is living in Indonesia and how big the sport in Indonesia is. So uh, in one way, it was for me a step back, and but in the other way, it was for me amazing because here we play in full stadiums every week. So and like if you are a football player, you really want to play in full stadium. So you need to make decisions. You know what you want. And in at my age at that time when I made the decision, for me it was also like, okay, this is my level here in Europe. I don't know if I can go better than this. So you want to stay on this level, or you want to change and take an adventure in Asia. So I took the adventure.
Cool. Thank you, Stefano. So again, hot seat again. What is the weather like? The difference? Did you adapt well to the climate change between playing in Holland and Indonesia?
The weather is amazing here. It's really hot. So I think in the first month I really need to adapt, because for me it was not normal because it was so hot here. And in Holland it's not hot. It's raining every day almost. So if you compare Holland to Indonesia, it was a really big change for me. But after 2 3 months, I really adapt well. And yeah, for me now it's normal. It's easy to play here. But in the beginning, it was really hard.
So was the team Bali United patient with you when you first joined them in terms of adapting to style of play, weather change?
So sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Sorry, when you came to Indonesia, was your team patient with you? You took a little bit of time to adapt to the change in weather, the climate.
Yes.
How were your teammates crucial
No,
to you?
they,
Yeah.
they were really helping me. And they say like, yeah, they also made the jokes like, yeah, it's different there, the weather here. Because I think in the first week, every game I played, after the game I was red. My face was red like a tomato, because the weather was so hot. I didn't know how to control my breath and everything. So it was really a difficult situation for me. But like I said, after 3 months, I really adapt well to the situation. And yeah, now it's just normal for me.
So you talked a bit about the fans, the passion of the fans. You said the stadiums in Indonesia are full as compared to the teams you played in before. Um,
Yes.
when you came in to play full time in the Liga One, what was the reaction of the Indonesian fans like? Did you feel like you had a lot more to prove? Did you feel like you needed to win over some critics? Um, was there any kind of hostility in the initial stages, and how do you overcome that?
Yeah, of course. When you come from Europe, especially in my situation, also the expectations were really high. So and people were also like, better stay in Europe. It's better for you to stay in Europe. Also for, of course, I'm Indonesian, so for an Indonesian player to play abroad, it's really good for the country. But like I said, in a certain age, you need to make some decisions. And I made a decision to play in Indonesia, and like I said, I don't regret it at all. For me, it was the right decision. And of course, I sometimes I think about playing in Europe, and because the structure there is really good, and here the organization sometimes is quite difficult. So that's the only thing what bothers me sometimes. But
Okay,
like I said
so
before, the full stadiums and everything, it's amazing.
yep, I think that's every footballer's dream. I think it's to play in a packed
Yes.
stadium full of fans that are passionate about the sport and the team
Yeah.
that they love. So, very happy for you. I think you made a very tough decision, but I think you've stuck with it, and that's why you're here today to tell us all about it. So, well done. I think a little bit about the food and culture. So, I have a fan question that I believe I took out from your Instagram post, right? So, on the topic of culture, there's obviously a culture difference. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit more about how you adapted to the culture. And on top of that, what's the food like for you? And people are curious to know what is your favorite Indonesian dish, actually. So, maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
Uh, I like to, if I eat some Indonesian food, I like to eat beef rendang. So that's one of my favorite dishes. And yeah, the simple things like nasi goreng. I also like to eat a good nasi goreng. It's just simple, but but it's not that I eat it every day or that it's every week on the menu. So because yeah, we cannot eat all the time beef radang and nasi goreng. It's not good for the body. but
And
if
that,
I
is
like,
that
but
personally
I
hard
like
for
to eat
you?
it.
You like to
Sorry.
eat it, so is it hard for you? Do you feel like you always have to restrict yourself when it comes to food in
Ah,
Indonesia?
no, I like, for me it's better to eat it once a week. Then it's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. Here I can choose to eat it every day. Because on every corner you can order it. But for me it's good once a week. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So let's just talk a little bit about your family because when you made this change, obviously your family is in it with you, right? So I notice on your social media posts sometimes you show your son, or either your son or your sons, it's either one or both of them, and they are playing football. And
Yeah.
sorry, I'd just like to clarify what are their ages, right, by the way?
My eldest one is 3 years old. His name is Jax, and the youngest one is 2 years, just turned two. His name is Zayn. But yeah, they're a handful. They love to play
I
soccer, but they're so active, so we need to keep them busy.
I wish I could say I can imagine, but I unfortunately I cannot. But I've been around kids enough to know what it must be like. So you mentioned that they're 3 and 2, and I've seen on your stories that they are already kicking the ball. So what do you think the journey is going to look like for them in Indonesia, and will you be exposing them to the sport?
It's up to them. I give them all the tools. It's not that they need to play football for me. They need to do what makes them happy. And if they decide to play football, I'm really happy. But if they decide to do something else, I support them whatever they want to do. Because it's not up to me to push them in this direction or that direction. It's something they need to find out, and that's the most important thing for me. They need to do what makes them happy. If it's football, I will support them with 100%. But if they want to do something else, I will also support them with a full 100%. But for me, also, yeah, if they want to play football, of course, it's a bonus, and yeah, it's amazing. But for now, they really love the game. They really love to play football, and they're really into it. So who knows?
I guess who knows? Maybe we'll find out when
Yeah.
in about 4 years. I think your eldest son turns 7. So let's see if he does a little mini Lilipali and start playing football at 7 years old. So we'll never know, but
Let's hope.
we'll see. So I think moving on, we just want to find out how is the league situation now in Indonesia, and what have you been up to? What has your team been up to? And if I'm not wrong, the league has suspended. How's it like for yourself?
Yeah, it's quite disappointed because I think we with Bali United we were training for the last what is it, 8 or 7 months without playing any official game. So we were still hoping that we can play in November, that the league will continue, but they made the decision to not play the league, and will continue in the next year. So yeah, we need to accept, and in the end, the health of all the people is more important than to play football. But of course, it's a big disappointment for the football lovers, because I would like to see that we could continue the league. But unfortunately, it is the way it is, and we need to accept, and we need to focus on the next season, and that's the most important thing.
Well said. I think on that note, I do have a fan question that just came in. This one is from Marianne Peters. So the question is, how have you been keeping up with football and training amid the lockdown restrictions? So we know the league has suspended. We know you can't train right now. So I'm pretty sure there are some restrictions along the way. And if you have any stay-at-home fitness tips for our viewers watching this.
Yeah, I just at the time that we really couldn't train and we needed to stay at home, I just bought some equipment and made a small home gym, and I just did my exercises at home, and yeah, that was the only thing we could do, and but we didn't have Yeah, for me it was quite easy to do it at home because I was working out at home. My wife was there, my kids, and yeah, I didn't have any problems to motivate myself. So for me, it was quite easy to do it. But of course, I like to be on the pitch. I like to smell the grass and to play football with with all my teammates. So it was in depth. If you look at from that point of view, it was a really tough situation.
Thank you so much for sharing. Quick one, hot seat again. If you had one workout to recommend, a stay-at-home workout, a quick one, 5 minutes to boost your stamina for our players, for our viewers right now who are watching this, and they feel like they cannot do anything right now. They feel helpless. Football cannot resume in Southeast Asia, most places in Southeast Asia. And this is also for our youth and amateur players right now, because we see the pro leagues resuming soon. But for a lot of the amateur leagues, maybe fairly enough, they're not necessarily allowed to resume because maybe the resources are not there for the teams. So if you had one quick workout advice to give our viewers right now, what would that be?
Um, there are a lot because like we all have internet now those days. So what I did is I just go on YouTube, just put a workout 20 minutes every day, and yeah, it depends what you want to train. If you want to train your core, you just type in core for athletes, and you just find the right what's fit the most for you, and you do it every day. Every day you can change it. If you want to do some legs exercises, you can also put it on YouTube. You can find everything nowadays. So, but important is that you train the smart way. So based on athletes, based on what I do, I always put like soccer training at home or things like that. So for me, what I did was most core and everything because that's for us as soccer players, it's really important to have a strong core. So that's the thing what I did the most. So that's my tip, just YouTube, whatever you want to train, whatever you want to improve, you can find it on the internet.
Okay, so for our young viewers right here watching this, I guess we have learned one thing, that we have no excuses. We can't return to the pitch, but we have internet at home for those of us who do. And if we don't, we can find ways to work out at home. So no excuses. We can continue the sport from our
No
place.
excuses.
So I'm moving on. I think I have a question from another viewer. So this is Jackie Chu, who is asking, with Bali United coming so close to winning the Liga 1 in 2017, how does it feel to finally win the championship in 2019? And how did the fans react?
Of course, it was a big relief because in 2017 we were that close to win the league, and in the end we are with empty hands. So it was a tough pill to swallow, and but in the end you need to stand up, and that is what we did. And the year after we took our revenge and we win the league. Or not the year after, the year it was 2018.
2019? Yeah.
2000, yeah. So it was a really good year for us, and yeah, of course, the whole Iceland was one big party, and everybody was in their best. So yeah, it was really nice moment to achieve.
All right, thank you so much for sharing. So I have another fan question. This is from Bali Football, which on Instagram, which by the way, I believe they are a news and media agency or website in Indonesia. Bali Football wants to know, what is your best moment as a Bali United player and with the Indonesian national team?
As a Bali United player, of course, the championship was the best moment for me in Bali United. And in the Indonesian national team, I think AFF 2016 and maybe Asian Games. The Asian Games, with what I joined with under 23, it was also really nice to play. And but if I need to choose, it was 2016 AFF.
Okay, on that note, I also have a question coming in. They're just coming in straight up. So bear with us. This is actually quite fun to do, actually. So this is from Dinesh Sanmugam, who is asking, Indonesia's national team has finished runners-up on 5 occasions at the AFF championships. What are your thoughts for the upcoming AFF championships next year? As much as I want Malaysia to win as a Malaysian, what do you think Indonesia's chances are?
Oh, it's quite hard to say because, like I said, we now the league don't run, so it means that 1 year without any matches, official games, only training, and even training stopped now at the time. So I don't know what the next year will bring for us, but of course, if I need to think about it, and if I need to say something about AFF, of course, we want to win the AFF one time, and if it's next year, we want to win it next year. But like I said, it's really difficult to say in this situation with the COVID, with no training, no games. It's really hard to say something about it. But of course, if I want to win the AFF also in 2021, if I'm there, so hopefully we can do something in 2021.
Okay, thank you. Again, another one from a viewer, Jun Tan. What is your impression of Singapore football? I mean, you've played against Singapore, I think, a couple of times, but
Yes.
other than on the field, do you have anything of, do you think anything of the scene as a whole? Do you know anything about it? What do you think of it?
I think my first official goal in 2016 in the tournament I made against Singapore.
We
So
know
my
that, yeah.
memories, my memories against Singapore are really good. But no, they have a good team. Like I said, yeah, they have a good team, and we played also in Singapore. Amazing, amazing stadium there. They have good players. So yeah, they have a lot quality in their national team also, and yeah, it's a good team. And like I said, they have a lot of quality inside of the team also.
Okay, thank you so much. I think our Singapore football players will be very happy to hear that as well. So another fan question. This is from, I picked this out from your Instagram. This is from Mario Sonata. Um, Mario wants to know if you can name 11 players in the world as your dream team.
In the world,
Your,
as my dream team
yeah, any 11 players in the world, from
from the
any
world.
part. Yeah.
Uh, Need to start the goalkeeper. Yeah? Then I will put Allison, Liverpool, left back Marcelo, uh, center Matthijs de Ligt, Van Dijk. Actually, I want to put Ramos, but it's a Dutch connection, so I put Van Dijk and Matthijs de Ligt. So I put Ramos on the right side because he need to be there on the midfield. Frenkie de Jong, Modric, uh,
This is a tough one, right?
Hazard. Yeah, now
Sorry, was it Hazard?
now Hazard is one of my favorite players, but now at the time he's not really in form. But I still put him there because I know he have a lot of quality. So Hazard in front, yeah, we have so many choice, but I will go for Ronaldo left, Mbappe in the center, and Messi on the right.
Very nice. I couldn't help but notice that you didn't put yourself in. So would you not be a part of your own dream
I,
team?
I will be on the bench. I will
Okay,
be on the
okay.
bench looking to them.
And if you were to play in this dream team, where would you put yourself?
I will put me behind the strikers.
Okay, that's very good to know. So on this note of influences around the world, your dream team, right? Who are some of your all-time football influences, if any?
Uh, for me, if I always looked up to Zinedine Zidane, uh, Ronaldinho was for me such an inspiration. But yeah, I had a few. Also, Iniesta was for me an inspiration. And in Holland, I had Bergkamp. I look really up to those kind of guys. So for me, they were my inspiration.
And apart from just your favorite players, who would your favorite coaches be?
Coaches. It's a tough one. Uh, coaches, yeah. I think I will go also with Zidane then.
Zidane.
I will go also with Zidane then. If
Okay.
somebody can be my coach, let it be Zidane.
Okay, cool. So on the topic of coaching, right? You as a player, some of our fans want to know what your favorite warm-up drill is as a right wing or attacker and why.
My favorite drill as a right wing. In the warming up or
I was told warm-up, but you can go as specific as you want.
warm up? Yeah, mostly I play on the left side, but or behind the strikers. Uh, it's favorite drill. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, I don't really have a favorite drill. I'm just a player. He picks his moments, and it's not really that I have a favorite drill. But if I have to choose, if I play on the left side as right-footed player, I like to go inside and search for the right far corner to shoot in the right far corner.
Yeah, that is
So
one of your specialties,
from
isn't it?
from outside to inside, and then that's what I like to do. So, but
Cool,
I
cool.
don't
So
really have a favorite drill.
yeah, I don't think a lot of us would have a favorite drill. If I had to be honest, I love playing the game more than training actually, but that's people like me, so that's okay. I have a
That's
question from
I'm the
another
same with
viewer.
it.
I think that's a lot of players actually. We hate to admit it, but
Yes,
that's how it is when we train.
I rather play games in the week than train 5 times a week.
Completely agree with you. Okay, so I have a question from another viewer. This is Raphael Wong. He is asking, we have seen young players like Egi Molena in Poland. Do you foresee more Indonesian players coming out of their comfort zone and playing in the bigger leagues in Asia or Europe?
If I look to the potential of the young players, what we have in this country, yes, because we have enough quality to bring our young players abroad. Like Egi is a perfect example. He playing in Poland now, and I think he's doing quite good. And he's still young, so I think he's a good example for all the young players to look up to. Like Egi is doing good at the moment, and he's there now. I think for 2 years or more, and I think he already feel the difference. Like playing in Europe comparing to playing in Indonesia as a youth player. So for his potential, it's really good to be there, and I hope more of the young players will follow and get the chance to play abroad so that they can open their fully potential. And I think here in the league, it's quite difficult to do that. So I hope that they will follow more young players.
Cool. Thank you so much for sharing. I think just building on that question, um, I have another fan question from your Instagram as well. This is from Abiata_12. So, assuming you had to leave Indonesia or the Liga One, which league would you continue which league would you choose to continue your football career and why?
Um, if I need to choose in Asia or Europe, Asia,
I'll leave it up
Asia.
to you. As
Like in Asia,
maybe Asia, yeah.
the Asia may be better. I think the leagues in Thailand, it's something I want to do, and if there is a possibility, maybe there is a possibility, but it's something I always thought about. And before I played in Japan, that was amazing. So even for all the youth players, also in Indonesia, if they can go to Japan, I say go, give it a try because you can compare Japan to Europe in the style of work, organization, and everything is well arranged, and it's perfect to also unlock your potential there. And yeah, for me, Japan and Thailand, it's something nice.
So would you say Japan and Thailand are probably some of the best in Asia for you?
I think if you have the best in Asia, you have also Korea. I think it's Japan, Korea, Thailand. So these are the three leagues. It's really good.
Okay, so
to
just
play
building on
for.
that question, I have another question from a viewer that's asking, this is Juntan. In your opinion, what is the thing that is preventing Indonesian football from moving forward to match the best in Asia? So I think we just spoke a little bit about Korea, Thailand, and Japan. So what is one thing that is preventing Indonesian football from moving forward to match these teams and leagues?
I think it all starts with the youth. Um, if they don't have the right tools, and if you like the academy and everything in the youth level is not good enough, I think this are really hard for the younger players to unlock their potential and to grow to a higher level. And I think that's the main reason in Indonesia. The facilities and everything is not that good at the moment. So if you look to Thailand, Japan, and everything, if you look to their youth teams, it's amazing, well organized and everything. So I think that's the big difference with Indonesia and the other countries in Asia. So like Japan, Korea, Thailand. That's the big difference. It started
Thank you
all
for
with the
sharing. Yeah.
youth.
Starting with the youth, I think that applies across most countries in Asia. That is
Yes,
something that's very important to build the structure from a young age,
yes,
to give our future athletes proper
yes,
structure, training facilities from a very young
yes.
age. So this is actually something that's very really important. So thank you for bringing that
Yeah,
up.
because
Um, yep,
there is a lot of talent here in Indonesia. So
yep.
the potential is there. Only like you said, you need to find the right structure to unlock that potential to let them grow. And until now, that's still something they need to find. And yeah, like now it's really difficult with this current situation we're in. So hopefully in 2020 they can start with it.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. So I still have fan questions coming in, which is great. I have a very interesting one here. So I guess this is a hypothetical situation. This is from Satya Sai. Um, they're asking, Namaste from India. Your team is trailing 1-0 in the 80th minute. What or how would you fire up your team? Hot seat again.
What's it again? No, I'm always want to win every game. So for me, yeah, we just cheer each other up and try to take them also to a higher level to talk with them, to give them a little bit. Sometimes, yeah, the words I cannot say here, but it needs to be in another language. In so yeah, it's the way you talk to your teammates. You know how to lift them up, and also the way you act in the game. If they see you go you fight until the end, you can take them with you. So sometimes you don't even need to talk. You just show what you want to do, and they will follow. So sometimes we don't need you don't even need to talk. You just need to give the example. So it's not only talking; it's just doing it.
Yep. So this is again very valuable advice for a lot of people watching this. I think our behavior on the field can be easily reflected in terms of energy. We can be
Yes.
losing, but as long as our energy goes down, it kind of propels across.
Yes.
So I think that's excellent advice. Moving forward, what are your goals for yourself right now in this very moment and for the
Right now.
future? So right now, what are your goals for the future and even in life after football? What do you see yourself doing?
Right now, it's with football. It's still like a blurry situation because we all don't know what will happen in the next season. For me, my contract with Bali United will end also end of the year. So for me, it's also what will be there for me next year. Uh, so again, decisions I need to make, and I think with this current situation, it will be a little bit different than the years before. And after football, yeah, I like to work with the youth. So maybe something still inside the football and do something with youth players. So that's something I'm really interested in. And yeah, for the rest, it's still open, it's still a blanco area for me.
So do you see coaching, teaching in schools, teaching football in schools as something you can potentially do in the future?
Yeah, like I said, I like to work with the youth, with young players. I don't know if I like the coaching, but I know that I like to work with younger players and kids. So that's one thing I like. So maybe I will grow into it, and maybe I like the coaching thing. It's also something new for me. So we still need to find out.
So I think just building on what you just said, and also to wrap this all up, you mentioned you like to work with youth. So Singa Cup is all about youth and the youth tournament that is held in Southeast
Yes.
Asia. Looking back on the things you've learned in your journey with the game, whether it's in Holland or whether it's in Indonesia, basically your whole journey, starting at 7 all the way till now, what advice would you give to our Singa Cup viewers watching this right now?
For me, the most the thing what bring me the most is passion. You need to really go fully 100% to the thing you do. So if you play football and you don't go full 100%, it's with everything in life. You need to go full for it, or don't do it at all. In my eyes, because or you need to do it just for fun. But if you really want to succeed, like a professional football player or something, you need to do it with full passion, and you need to, like I said, you need to make many sacrifices also. But in the end, it will pay off. All the hard work, all the hours you put in. So that one thing is never give up. If you fall, you stand up and you try again. So that's what I did, and it brought me where I am now. And of course, it's not where I dreamed of, but I'm thankful for where I am now. So
Thank you so much, Stefano. I don't think there was a better way to have wrapped this up with you. A lot of our viewers here were very excited to have you, so we really appreciate you being on board with us to talk about your journey with us, and we are very, very grateful. And we hope to see you soon in the next edition of Singa Cup or in the next edition of the AFF Suzuki Cup, and wherever football may take us. So thank you so much for being with us.
no problem, no problem. It was a
Take
pleasure.
care.
Thank you, thank you. Take care.
Take care and see you.
See you. Bye bye.